The challenge: enhance rigor across all classrooms to ensure students are engaged in activities that are cognitively complex and enhance students' ability to analyze, reason, and make real world decisions. We ask teachers to define rigor based on what teachers are doing versus what students are doing. We then talk to students about their reflections from the SAT, a rigorous exam that has real life implications for students.
But I still pushed through. I got it done. I also did the essay, but overall, I think I did great. Like, I'm a great writer. It's just like I gotta learn how to, like pull the exact evidence out of what I'm trying to say and use my words the way I'm trying to use them and not have ongoing sentences and use the right grammar, punctuation marks. So,
write 5 paragraphs, state like evidence throughout the whole thing.
Did you feel like you were prepared to do that? Did you know how to do that?
It was hard.
Okay. And do you feel like was that the first time when you kind of doing an evidence-based essay?
Yeah.
Well, the first section, it was a little hard because the stories were really long. And I was trying to stay awake because, reading makes me tired.
Okay.
But, like, the second and third and fourth, the third one was, like, math. So, it was not bad. It was actually
It's like they were asking the same questions, but they were just rephrasing them.
Okay. Were they requiring you to read a passage and then you had to answer questions in the passage?
That was for the second part.
Okay. The first part, what was it related to?
It was like they asked you questions. No, you gotta read the whole story, and then they start asking you story about you. Like, it's really going. I mean, it was a helping situation because it just like kept your skill. It was really testing to see where your mind was really at because it didn't really see if you really paid attention because it was asking deep questions.
Okay.
Like, English teachers like really helping me like when I ask questions or like teaching me like faster ways I can like put an essay together.
Okay. And do you think the types of questions teachers ask would better prepare you for the SAT?
Yes.
So tell me about the types of questions that you think you saw in the exam and how that differs from what you saw, what you maybe experienced.
Like some words might be like way more harder, so like definition of words that I might not know. Like that's really one of the keys they put out there. They expect you to know stuff, but sometimes you just don't know.
Okay.
Cause I want to look good on my college. Like if I apply for any college, like in the DMV area or wherever, like, I want to just look good on my college because that's required.
Right now is to start off with the 2-year community college just to make it easier to get into a 4-year college, which I do want to try to probably do UMBC.
Okay, I like UMBC.
Yeah.
They have a great like NAMS initiative around engineering.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's only have two options. I'm either going to college or go to the military.
Okay.
And I normally need the SAT to get it either one.
All right.
The real reason I was like, I'm not trying to be in DC all my life.
Okay, where do you want to go?
To a different country.
Wow, a different country?
Yeah.
What you thinking?
Cause I want to live in like overseas.
Oh man, I love travel. What are you thinking about?
Puerto Rico for the rest of my life.
Really? Why Puerto Rico?
Cause I mean it's just like it still go by U.S. money, but it's just like a calm climate.
Okay. Oh, you like that climate?
Yeah.
So have you been before?
Once on my 8th grade field trip.
And so ever since then you were like,
yeah, I gotta go.
That's where I'm trying to be.
Now that we have gathered information from both teachers and students, we are ready to address our challenge. Members of the academic leadership team make decisions about the academic landscape of Ballou State. Teachers were tasked with thinking about the instructional shift selected by the entire group. You will observe the instructional leadership team discussion to use one of Marzano's instructional strategies, managing response rates and tiered questioning as our first step to increase rigor in our classrooms.
Mine is managing response rates with tiered questioning. So the skill can be evaluated in every content area. So I think time and making sure that the students get enough wait time and also making sure that there's different level of questioning can definitely be evaluated across all content areas. Can the skill be seen throughout the lesson? So I think throughout the lesson that the skills, if there's planned questionings, then I think it can be seen throughout the lesson. Related to real life, I think one of our one of the things our students need to really do is manage their response rates and learn how to respond appropriately and giving themselves an appropriate amount of wait time. So I think that is something that we also can relate to real life. Like, I think that when we talk about managing with response rates and response times and things like that, they can definitely relate that to real life and the classroom and a variety of different things within the class. Can it be easily observed? So I do think that this is something that throughout the lesson, you can observe it, and throughout, it's kind of like the first step of what Ms. Golson was talking about. It's kind of like, if we can get them to think about the questions, then we can start asking them why.
Me, I guess it could be, instead of me, let's say, giving 10 problems to do, if I gave 4 problems to do and said, justify or give evidence of why you got your answer for each one, it'll probably annoy them to death, but I guess that's a way I can show it in math class.
But math is, it seems to me, a little bit like, because you have to do the work. It's a natural thing to do, is to do work.
But to have them have to
Maybe
say
write
what
it out.
property they
The
used,
writing,
or
the writing
the
it
formula,
out is
why.
so the
or
next
like, why
step.
did you
Right.
do this, or why, because right now for Algebra 1, they're solving equations, and they don't know how to solve equations, but Eureka is not necessarily focused on teaching them, because they should have learned. They're more so saying, okay, you solved this equation, what property did you use to solve it? Is this equation equal to this equation if you know what property? So like they have to know like the distributive property, the community property. So even though they can show me the work and solve an equation,
Do you know the other?
do you know the properties that
Even part the question.
Right, I'm gonna say even before getting to that part, just actually understanding the question, because there's sometimes that they're asking something and they think, oh, you just want me to explain this. Okay, I'm gonna just explain it. It's like, no, that's not. We were asking for you to already know that and then use that information to do this. And so I think unpacking the question is really important. What is it? Modeling of the metacognition of a question. So now let's look at this question. What is this question really asking you? Walking through that modeling before we let them go.
We have found a solution to our challenge. After talking to students, teachers, and bringing it back to our alt team, we have decided that our initial steps to helping our teachers and students manage response time and addressing tiered questions by implementing 4 strategies. 1. Using Bloom's taxonomy as a resource to help students understand the complexity of a question. 2. Model what it looks like to dissect a question. 3. Help students analyze responses to questions by comparing their work to student exemplars. 4. Teachers will provide content-specific examples of tiered questions to their peers.